Everybody should do Strongman. That is the title of this video and why you clicked on it. And you might be thinking, why is this crazy person recommending that everybody should do a sport where you have to eat 10,000 calories a day, bulk up to obscene body weights upwards of 150 kilograms, and generally be an absolutely humongous monster, lifting massive weights, pulling buses, and all of that stuff? Isn't it super dangerous? Why is he recommending it to everybody? And I just want to say, all of what I just said is absolute nonsense. Every single person can benefit from strongman training, and there is a huge misconception around strongman and why it is beneficial for everyone. And in today's video, I am going to debunk all of that nonsense and talk about how strongman can benefit you. So who am I? My name is Toby Lively. I am an amateur strongman. I have done it now for a little over 4 years. I started in the COVID lockdown, and now I'm 4 years deep. I'm loving every second of it. I'm competing, I'm enjoying the training, and I'm stronger than I've ever been. Why do you care about all of that? Well, I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude, and I started doing strongman because I had no other option apart from lifting rocks and wheelbarrows and weird stuff in my garden during lockdown when the gyms shut, and I wanted to be a bit fitter. And that's exactly why I think you guys should do strongman, because there is absolutely no barrier for entry to do strongman training. It is all about moving weird and awkward implements and getting generally functionally strong across the board. You don't have to learn any specific techniques. As weird as that might sound, you don't even have to be strong. Anyone can do strongman training. That doesn't mean I think you should compete, but you might get the bug for it. You might really enjoy it. So here is why I think strongman training is beneficial for every single person walking this earth. So why strongman training specifically? Why not powerlifting? Why not Olympic weightlifting? Why not bodybuilding? Why strongman? And it is because strongman encompasses the same base level that all of these things do. You have to have a base level of strength. And if you're someone who already goes to the gym, that's going to be no problem to you. And if you're someone who doesn't, it doesn't matter. You can build a strength level while doing strongman. I mean, my main focus in training at the minute is building that level of strength up. I'm doing barely any strongman specific movements in the gym, just the ones that I think are really useful and beneficial for building that base level. Everything else is about building base levels of strength across the board, which anyone can do in any gym with the help of any PT, any online resources. Anyone can get a base level of strength. And that is why strongman is so amazing. It is open to anyone. There is really no barrier for entry. You think you have to be 6'5", 400 pounds. You have to be massive. You have to be this, that, the other. You don't. You can do strongman at any level. You can even compete at strongman at any level. There are novice classes, intermediate classes, open classes, weight classes, women's classes. There is everything you can do at a strongman competition, which is why it's fantastic. Now, I'm not going to talk about the competition side of it because I don't think everyone should necessarily compete. But if you want to, the options are there. Now, as for the training, why do I think everybody should at least give strongman a try? And it's because when you do these other strength sports like powerlifting or just general strength training, you are building strength in various different movement patterns. You're lifting things in the deadlift, you're pressing things with a bench or an overhead, you're squatting things, and you're building leg strength in that way, which is all fantastic. But the one thing you're not doing is you're not lifting things that don't have a handle. Now, what I mean by that is obviously the deadlift, the squat, and the bench all use a barbell that is something very easy to hold on to. That is why it's made, is so that you have something easy that you can lift. But in real life, that is not always the case. You might have to move a very heavy plant pot. You might have to carry a suitcase when you're going on holiday. You might have to pick up your child. You might have to carry the shopping in. You might have to move a box of books when you're moving house. You might even have to move a fridge. All of these things are awkward, weird-shaped objects. Obviously, didn't mean to call your child a weird shape. Sorry about that. But no, they're all odd objects that don't have something easy to grab onto and lift. And that is what we specialise here in strongman. So why wouldn't you train in the same way as you're going to be using and applying that strength in real life? And Strongman in general has a lot of very dangerous and weird implements that require a lot of technique to get used to. And obviously, the vast majority of these things don't have much carryover to real life in general. But there are two things that we do and specialise in Strongman that I think have immense carryover to real life. And I think everybody who is wanting a base level of fitness and strength should incorporate at some point into their training. And yes, I really do mean everybody, whether you are a bodybuilder who has been stacking on size and just wanting a bit of strength, or you're old Mrs. Miggins at 73 years old just wanting a bit more strength so you can get out of a chair unassisted. Doing these two exercises that I am about to share with you is going to have immense carryover to whatever you're doing. Now, the first one, which has already become pretty mainstream among other sports and exercises, is the farmer's walk. If you don't know what that is, it is carrying something each side of you, or even in one side or offset, and just walking around with something in your hands, carrying it. And you can see where this comes in handy in real life, whether it be carrying the shopping, carrying a suitcase, carrying anything by your side. Sometimes you'll be carrying the shopping all in one trip and your arms feel like they're going to fall off, your core is burning, you're getting a stitch. Now think about if you had actually trained that in the gym once a week, it'd be absolutely no problem. And it is the easiest of the things I'm about to talk about to train, because you could just pick up the shopping. You could load up a suitcase, you could fill a rucksack, you could do anything, just pick it up in your hands and walk around with it. Obviously, if you already are in a gym and you want to add it into your training, just pick up some of the dumbbells they have there. The heaviest ones you can, pick them up, walk up and down the Astro Strip most gyms have, and you'll be getting a fantastic level of grip strength. You'll be moving in your legs, your core strength, your lower back strength. All of this is getting worked, and you won't even feel like it's working specific muscles. You'll just be able to feel it everywhere, and it is a great functional movement that I think everybody should be incorporating into their training at least once per week, because it is really that good. Now, the other exercise, apart from the farmer's walk, that I think you should be doing is a form of awkward shaped lift and carry. So in Strongman, this is most notably some form of natural stone or a sandbag or a keg, but in real life it might be a box of books, it might be again a rucksack filled with something heavy, again it might be your weird shaped child. It is picking something up off the floor, having it in front of you and carrying it somewhere. And you can see again where this has fantastic carryover to any real life situation. For me in Strongman, I love to do this with a sandbag. Around about body weight is where I'd suggest most people with a good level of strength be. But if you're just starting, anything remotely heavy and awkward is going to teach you how to pick up something awkward off the floor that doesn't have handles like a barbell. Getting your hands really nice and squidged under there, lapping it and then standing up with it and being able to walk with that weight. It's going to target similar but different muscles to the farmer's walk when you are walking, but the main difficulty with this thing is getting the thing off the floor itself. Obviously, if it's a big box, you can jam your hands underneath, get it up. If it's a rucksack full of books, don't use the handles on the rucksack. Again, try and jimmy and jam your hands underneath it and get it up. Obviously, if you are doing this, I'd recommend looking into the form and technique on how to lift a sandbag. In Strongman is mostly what we do, but in real life it can be anything awkward and heavy, and giving it a go. Find out your level and you'll be surprised at just how much you can lift in this way. And it was training your body again to lift awkward things off the floor. So even if you're used to doing a deadlift or any sort of other strength building movement that you're lifting something, a lot of people still manage to get injured because they try and lift something awkward and can't get the handle on it right, end up lifting with their back and tweaking something. And being prepared for this by lifting awkward heavy weights in weird different ways like we do in Strongman is going to have that preparedness across the board, which is again why I think everyone can benefit from this. So those are two just really simple ways that you can incorporate Strongman into your general training program. And even if you don't train whatsoever, just doing these things are going to have fantastic carryover to real life situations. And it doesn't sound that hard, does it? It sounds like you can do it even without going to a gym, which is exactly correct. It is exactly what you do. Strongman doesn't have to be complicated. Strongman doesn't have to be a high barrier for entry. It is one of the most beneficial things that people can do, is just get good at lifting weird stuff. And that is the beauty of Strongman. That is where it started. It was a bunch of blokes sitting around going, I reckon I could lift that rock. And then his friend going, yeah, well, I reckon I could carry that rock. and then the absolute beast of a friend going, I reckon I could put that rock over my head. You know what I mean? It's just like a group of people sitting around going, yeah, I reckon I could do that, and then doing it, and then getting good at it. And obviously it's evolved massively into this sport, but moving weird, awkward objects is something you're going to have to do every day in your life anyway, so you may as well train for it. And I don't know about you, but I think it's way more fun than regular strength training. You might get a few weird looks in the gym by doing it, but if you say you're training for Strongman, you instantly get that respect back. And who knows, as I said, this may lead you to fall in love with Strongman and want to compete and get really good at it, but it also may not. It may just be something that you do for fun or for strength training or just to get better, and that's fine too. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this small video talking about it. It was a topic I really wanted to get off my chest and dispel the rumours that obviously you have to be an absolute freak of nature to get into Strongman, and you absolutely don't. Anyone can do it, and anyone can have fun doing it. So I hope you did, again, enjoy this video. I do these talks every single Friday where I pick a topic that I am feeling passionate and inspired about and wanting to share my thoughts on. If you have any topics you want to hear me talk about, leave them in the comments below. I will pick them up on a future Friday, but I hope you did enjoy. I've been Toby. I have a catalogue of other videos on this channel, whether it be more talks like this or training videos where I am implementing some of the stuff I talked about in this video in my own training. Go and check it out. Leave a like on this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.